Hello, welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast. Wow, that was the beginning. Welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast, where I, Leverton, review absolutely everything: books, movies, TV series, whatever I want. Basically, that's the first rule. Second rule is that every review that I do is under 10 minutes, starting from the moment I start talking, which is now. Today I'm going to be reviewing Thunderbolts, and because this movie is still in cinemas, I'm going to give you a spoiler warning. I don't generally do that because most of the stuff I talk about is, older. But yes, it's spoiler warning, so if you don't want to listen to the spoilers, maybe don't listen to this one and find another episode. So, Thunderbolts, did I like it? Yes, I really liked it, and I think that it shows how Marvel can make interesting movies in the future. Because I think what people will like about Marvel movies will change. And that doesn't mean that they have to get rid of the MCU forever, but it does mean that they need to have more interesting projects. And I think also they need to have things that you don't need to watch the other things to get. And this movie did have like a moment there where they're fighting in this like big silo, and my children kind of took me to this movie. I mean, I paid for everything, but it was their idea to go, so I was like asking them like, who are these characters? So that was a bit confusing. So I I don't like that. And I think that there are a lot of interesting Marvel projects, but the problem is that no one has time to watch them all, and I think that's why the bigger things kind of fail, because no one is excited about seeing two characters that were in, I think, Hawkeye and in Miss Marvel, in uh, Captain Marvel. What's her name? Captain Marvel 2? I don't know. So that's why that movie failed, apart from the singing. Because as a movie, it's fine. It's fun. It's not that serious. Like going back to this one, it deals with Yelena, who is the adopted sister of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. It deals with her father, Alexei. It deals with Bucky and U.S. Agent and Ghost, and I think that's it. And a guy named Bob. And Bob is important because he has been the subject of human testing, and basically Valerie DeFontaine has this program where she wants to create superheroes who can help save the world from, world level threats because the Avengers aren't around anymore. And so she does this secret program, and she's being investigated by the government, and she covers up everything because she thinks her program is a failure. But this Bob guy appears, and he has all of these crazy powers. Like, he can fly, he's invulnerable, he can manipulate people's minds. And you might be thinking, what's the drawback? Well, the big drawback is that Bob, the character, is very depressed. So he has all of these superpowers, but his depression can also manifest as a sort of villain called the Void, although it's not really a villain because it doesn't have sort of agency. It just does something. So there's a point where Bob, as the Void, is like sending other people into the Void, like everybody in New York, basically. And Yelena figures out that you can, that, you can come back from the Void, and she can actually probably talk to Bob if she goes into the Void. So she does. And I like the fact that they didn't really explain what she was doing. She just did it. They showed what she was doing, which is great storytelling. And not a lot of things do that nowadays, unfortunately. And the other people figure out what they're doing, and they create this team, which is named after her junior soccer. Like her, when she was a kid, she had a junior soccer team, and they never won anything, and they were called the Thunderbolts. Uh, yeah, and I don't know where that was exactly, because as far as I know, Natasha and Yelena grew up in Russia. I'm not sure if that's a plot hole or if I just don't remember something. Yeah, so I really liked this movie. I liked Yelena's sort of portrayal of somebody who is bored, and she misses her sister immensely, and so she has this loss, but also she doesn't see that there's any point to her work, because she's just cleaning up all of these messes that people make. So if you couple that with Bob and where Bob is at emotionally, it's a really good balanced look at like a serious topic, because it's hard to have a sort of still fun movie about depression, right? And that's basically what this is. And I was looking at the character of Sentinel and Void this morning when I woke up, and I was trying to piece it together because I wasn't quite sure in the movie how this was supposed to work. But in the comics, it's much more complicated. And basically, in the movie, it's just that Bob gets these superpowers, and because he's depressed, the Void is like the thing that he creates out of his depression because he has these superpowers. And I think it's really interesting because it's like, how would you do Superman in a modern setting? Because Superman didn't start out being invincible. That was all added, or like, godlike powers. Those were all added as the story went on. And I guess the Sentinel character was like more like, how would you create a character like Superman who is so powerful? Like what's the catch? And it's a pretty big catch there. So yeah, I'm curious how they will deal with the Sentinel character in the future, because he is more powerful than anyone on Earth and probably most people in the universe, right? Uh, so yeah, and I also like how the actor played Bob, and I think that Florence Pugh, I don't know how to pronounce that. The actress who plays Yelena and Bob had great chemistry together. Yeah, and of course, she has great chemistry with a lot of the cast, like with the actor who plays her father. It's really great. He kind of steals the show. He steals Black Widow as well. Um, would I recommend you go see it? Yeah. If it's still playing in the theaters, go see it. There's only one part where you might need a little bit of somebody to tell you who the characters are, but apart from that, it's really good. It's the best. I think it's the best Marvel movie since Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was only last year, but time flies. And they had trailers for the new Superman movie, which I am really excited to see because I am a much bigger fan of Superman than I am of anything Marvel. So I hope that's good. It looks really good. Okay, thank you. Please check out my son's podcast, the Everything and More, etc. podcast. Thank you and bye.